Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live with independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Teresa Harper. I'm located in Oregon in the United States, and we are going to be making a couple of cards. We've got one fun fold for this evening, and then one pretty simple card, and hopefully we will not have any technical issues, although it is not looking good for me at the moment. So let's see if we're live. It says we're live. I don't see any comments at the moment. And I cannot get my laptop to come up. So let's see what we've got going here. Why do we have that? I want this. Okay, let's close. Okay, and then let's hang on. I do not know. There we go. There we go. I did something funky. I don't know what it was. Something funky though. Okay. Phew. Hello, Cynthia. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully no technical issues tonight. Whew. Okay. I think we're going to start with our more complex card to begin with, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So we are going to be using some two-tone cardstock tonight, and I just want to alert you on the two-tone cardstock. If you don't know anything about two-tone cardstock, then here is a way to try it. So this is the Stampin' Up! Website, and here is Autumn to Remember two-tone cardstock. You get 12 pieces, I believe. Let's look. Yeah, 12 sheets, and in this particular pack, you get 2 each of 6 colors. And because it's on the last chance list, instead of trying it at $12, you can try it at $7.20. And then there's the same with the Snowy Day 12 by 12 and the Reindeer Memories 12 by 12. Okay, so I'm going to be using that tonight on my card because our card gets a little bulky. And I'm going to show you the first card I made. This is what we're making, the fun fold. Not this particular card, but I made this with regular cardstock, and then I matted, and it's way too, it's bulky. Okay, it's fine. It's still not. I think you can still mail this. I think it. Yeah, it's still within the barely. I mean, yeah, it would be tight to mail as a regular card. Okay, so I wanted to redo this so that it wasn't quite so bulky. So one way to do that was to go with our two-tone cardstock, and then I eliminated the mats so that we don't have all that extra weight as well. And we are going to be using the Storybook Friends set today, along with its coordinating dies. Let me grab those for you. These are those. I love these dies because you get all these really neat frames. Cuts out all of the images except for the house and the 2 pieces here. Okay, so all of the little critters, and then you get those extra cool frames. And we're going to be using this frame on our second card. Okay, so we've got those. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Jennifer. Thanks for joining. I'm going to close my studio door and shut the heater off because I got it warmed up in here. And then we are going to get started. Okay, so my second card that I made with two-tone cardstock. And for this one, instead of doing a bunch of stamping and die cutting, I used the Storybook Friends, what's it called? Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. Okay, and it comes with 2 sheets of these little die cuts. And so I took one of my sheets and punched everything out and put it in one of our clear little envelopes so that I could keep that and just pull those when I needed them. Okay, so for this particular card, I used the two-tone cardstock for this piece here, and then a little bit of designer series paper. And like I said, I didn't map this one, but this one you can do quickly because you don't have to stamp and die cut and color all the images. All right, and if you're wondering where this sentiment comes from, it comes from the So Sincere stamp set. I think this was in the annual catalog. Okay, and it's $1 million sales achiever for Sandy Hancock. So I used that, and then I used one of the textured notes dies. I used this long one here, and it was too long, so I altered it. Okay, but it works out really well when you do that. So this was the second card that I made, and this uses a two-tone cardstock. Now this is the two-tone, and this is the card base itself is our regular pecan pie. And you really can't tell that I used the two-tone here, except that if you look really close around the edge here, this piece is just a tiny bit lighter than this piece right here. Okay, so we're going to make a card like this. We're not going to make this one. We're going to make one like this using the Storybook Friends and the Storybook Moments paper. And I've done all of the coloring and die cutting of the images so that you didn't have to sit and watch me do that, because there's a lot. Okay, so this is the two-tone cardstock, and as far as weight goes, it's quite a bit thinner. So it doesn't weigh as much, and that was perfect for my needs. And then I've got a piece of the, oh, hopefully I did that right. Yeah, I did. Okay, I've got a piece of Lost Lagoon, and this is cut at 5.5 by 6.25, and I've scored that at 2 inches. Okay, so 5.5 by 6.25. And if you need to know where the 1/4 inch is on our Stampin' Trimmer, you extend your arm, and then it's this little line right here in the gray part just before the seam. Okay, so that one right there. All right, hopefully you could see that really well. Okay, so we've got this piece. This is going to be our card base. This is going to be that fun fold flap, and this piece I've cut at 3 1/8 by 10.5. Now the original card fun fold design I saw Susan Campfield do, and I altered her the flappy part, the dimensions that she had, because she had 3 1/4 by 10.5, and 3 1/4 is a little, I didn't want a wide border for my matting, and so I did 3 1/8 so that I could save some paper, and that way when I mat, I'm at 3 inches, which is perfect for saving paper. Okay, so we've got this piece. Hello, Laura, if I didn't say hello already. I've got this piece, and again, this was 3 1/8 by 10 1/2. And I'm going to score this at, let me get my little cheaty sheet that I have. I'm going to score this at 2 inches, 3 inches, 5 1/2, and at 8. Again, those measurements are 2, 3, 5 1/2, and 8. So we've got that. And then we're going to take and we're going to start on the left at the 2 inch, and I'm going to do a mountain fold. So I'm just going to fold that back, turn that score valley into a mountain fold. I'm going to do the same thing at the 3 inch. Okay, you need some crisp folds for this. And then I'm going to move to the right, and I'm going to do I'm going to turn that valley score into a mountain fold. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with the next score at the 5 1/2. Okay, and now is when you can see the difference in the two-tone cardstock. Okay, this is the regular pecan pie, and then this is the lighter tone. Okay, so we've got that, and we can set this aside for the moment. Now, the other pieces that you will need, if you're doing just the regular fold, like this one, okay, if you're just gonna, it doesn't matter, right? Then you're going to need 4 pieces of designer series paper. 1, 2, 3, and then you need a 4th piece for here, but this doesn't necessarily need to be designer series paper. But you will need 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that are 2 3/8 inches by 3 inches. Now, for my purposes, I'm going to use slow down. I'm using all Willow White for my pieces here. Okay, so I need 4 of them, but because my design in here is a scene, I'm cutting 2 pieces at 2 3/8 by 3, 1 for here, 1 for here, and then I'm going to cut this piece at 4 3/4 by 3. Okay, so let's grab those out. Okay, I need one more. And the Willow White is the same weight as the two-tone cardstock. It's a little bit lighter than our basic white. So if you were just making a card like I did, you would just need 4 of these, right? Whether it's designer series paper or a mixture of designer series paper and white, which I would suggest you put white here so that this is where you would write your message, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put that in, and I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm just going to add it to my fun fold piece here. Okay, so we're just going to add this right in here, and this will be our sentiment piece. Okay. Now my other pieces, I'm going to do some stamping and some ink blending on. This short piece is going to go here, And I made this long piece to go here, and you might be thinking, well, you can't do that because you need to cut that. And yes, I will, but you'll see why I'm not doing it ahead of time in just a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these started. I'm going to move these out of our way for the short term. And I'm going to bring in my stamps, okay? So we're going to use the carrot field right here from the stamp set. And I'm going to take some Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to stamp this. Okay. And I'm going to put this about here, like so. All right. Then I'm going to take the house image, and I'm going to put, ooh, let's turn it right side up. That would be a very good thing to do. Put one here. I'm going to put one here, and then I'll put one here, and hope I got that far enough over. Yeah, it's going to be close. Gotta be close. Okay, so this is what I need for my scene. And then I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to make sure that I dry this. I want this ink to be dry, so I'm going to use my heat tool on setting number 1. And I'm going to dry that ink well. Because remember, this isn't basic white. It's white willow. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then let's bring in, before we do any coloring, let's do a little bit of ink blending. Okay, we're going to start with our Old Olive. Excuse me. And we're going to ink this up and rub that off right there on my glass mat. Let me put my black away here. And then I'm going to put down some of that green. And I'm going to try to avoid my stamped images. Okay. Now, if I get a little bit of green, it'll be fine. I just want to try and avoid as much as I can. Okay. All right. And I want this to be really light. I really just want it to look like there's a very subtle grassy background there. Okay. Now that looks good. Oops. And let's take this piece here. This is the other 2 3/8 by 3-inch piece. And I'm going to take the stone wall from this one. And I need to do this all at the same time because that would be the smart thing to do, right? So let's ink up our stone wall. And we're going to put this down, about here. Okay, we've got that done. Then we take that house again. Let's try right side up. And we're going to put that up here in this corner, just like that. Okay. And you know what? While we're at it, let's just go ahead. We've got this out. Let's stamp the rest of our images. Okay. We need a little bunny girl. A little girl bunny. We need the little rabbit with his radish. Who else do we need? Let's see. I need the cabbage guy. Right here. Mr. Cabbage Man. We actually need quite a few images. We need our little hedgie. So let's grab another scrap of the white willow, because that's what I'm stamping on is, or willow white, I think is what it's called. Yeah, let's get a hedgie. And then I can't remember if I need this guy or not. I don't think so. I don't think I need him for this one. Hang on, you guys. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, I need squirrel dude. I need hedgie and squirrel. So I need 5 images. Okay, so we need the squirrel. That's the next one I need. Mr. Squirrel here. Of course, you could pick whatever you wanted. These are just the ones I chose. Okay, so we've got that. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to grab from Wonderful Thoughts. I'm losing my pieces. Where did I put Wonderful Thought? Oh, I put it away. Okay. We're going to take the Thinking of You from Wonderful Thoughts. And I just want to get all this stamping out of the way. And then, let's see, Thinking of You is right here. So let's grab that. And grab a block, because I don't have it on a block. Okay. And then I think I can put, yep, I can put this right up here. We're going to stamp this in Lost Lagoon. Okay, so we've got Thinking of You. And I'm going to put it right there. Okay. And that has a die to cut it out, so we don't have to hand cut that or anything. Okay, so those are all our pieces. Now we can set these ones aside. We need this one. Let's bring back in that old olive. I probably have enough left on here. Let's see. Okay. Hello, Lynette. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's see. Still a little bit. All right. That looks pretty good. All right. Let's get the boho blue. Boho blue. This is one of those in colors that will be retiring. It's a 23 to 25 in color. So it's going to go away on May 6th. Okay, and then we're just going to take it very lightly. Boho blue can be very intense, so you want to make sure that you rub a bunch off. Because we're just looking for a real light sky here. We don't want a lot of color, just enough that this doesn't, our scene doesn't look stark white, really. Okay, there we go. So that's what we have for these two pieces. And then we're going to start to color. Okay, but I don't want to bore you with all that coloring because as you can see, that is a lot of coloring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some finished pieces. Oh, yeah, once you get this all colored up, then you cut it at 2 3/8, and then you're going to get this. Okay, so you'll have those two pieces that you cut at 2 3/8, and then you have this other piece here. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, so those are our pieces. In case you're wondering what I used for colors, you guys, wow. I pulled out a lot of blends. a lot of blends. These are the colors that I'm using between the two cards, but this one card uses most of these. Okay, so I know that is a lot of color, but those are the colors that I used to color these pieces and all my little critters. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out of the way because you do not want to sit and watch me color 5 little critters plus 3 houses, carrot field, and stone wall. Okay, so now we have these pieces. We can go ahead and add these to our card that we set aside. Okay, here are our critters. I'm just going to bring those in so you can see all that coloring together. Okay, so that is all of those pieces that I pre-colored so you didn't have to watch. And we're going to put those aside. And okay, so we've already got our sentiment piece here. Our split scenery is going to go here, so let's go ahead and add that. All right, and we'll add the other half of our scene here. And we'll just center those in those panels. Okay, and then this one we're going to put on that flap. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this here. And this, when I made it, I wanted it to sort of look like it was, these two could pretty much be together, right? So this is what we have so far. Now here we're going to put on some designer series paper. Okay, so I've taken some of the Forever Plaid designer series paper and I've used the Lost Lagoon. And I took this piece and I cut it at 2 3/4 by 3, and then I sliced off 7/8 of an inch so that those patterns will match. And I did that like I showed you how to do the scenery, where I just added these two dimensions together. If you don't want to do it that way, this piece here is 1 7/8 by 3. And this piece is 7/8 by 3. And together that adds up to 2 3/4, which is why I just cut at 2 3/4 by 3 and then sliced off the 7/8 of an inch. Okay. I need to move that. Okay. I want that to be more in line with everything else, not lower. Okay. So now we have that. And now let's go back to our card. And we're going to add some designer series paper to our card base. And I've got a piece of that Storybook Moments. Okay, it's got the little critters on the back and then this beautiful pattern. This piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and this piece is 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, so we're going to add this shorter piece, smaller piece, to the front of our card. Okay, just checking the comments for a second. And then we're going to add this to the inside. Okay. I'm actually going to turn this way. And try to get 3 even borders, and there we go. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to go ahead and add my pieces to this. So I'm going to start with, let's see, I want hedgy on the front. And then I'm going to try and put a little squirrel guy right here. And I think that'll work as long as I don't glue over the pieces. We're going to put Mr. Cabbage Bunny here. And then, let's see, oh, wait a minute. Was I going to try? Oh, I don't think she'll fit. Huh, maybe I have too many pieces. Oh, this guy's going to go here. He goes here, and I'm going to flip up his ears a bit. He's going to sit right there. She's going here. I forgot my plan, but there she is. Okay, so I'm going to put these, I want these guys to pop up slightly, but not a bunch. So I'm going to use a couple of glue dots on them. I don't need to get carried away, so I'm just going to put just a couple of glue dots. She's going to stand right here. And then I'm going to take my bunny. And he's going to go right here. And you'll not even know he's walking over that carrot. And then we're going to take this bunny, Mr. Cabbage guy here. I'm going to put him in here, like so. Oh, hang on. Let's perk up his ears just a tiny little bit there. All right, so we've got all that. Then we're going to take Hedgie. And I'm actually going to pop her up. No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not. I'm going to try and keep her very tight so we can get this in the regular mail. I was looking for my Stampin' Seal, which is right where it's supposed to be. But did you think I could see it? No, someone put little Hedgie right here. Then we're going to take that Thinking of You that we stamped. And I'm going to die cut this out with the Wonderful Thoughts matching dies. And I copied this from somebody, Chicken Scratch. Put it in the back so I know what everything looks like. And then we're just going to run this through the die cut machine. All right, there we go. Now we have a perfectly die cut sentiment, and you guys, this stamp set And the dies are carrying over again, so that's fabulous news. Let's get those out of the way, and then we're going to bring that back in, and we're going to put this right here. Okay, so I'm just going to take, I'm putting everything flat because this is really thick. So if you are going to hand deliver this and you want to put a bunch of dimension, then by all means go ahead and do so. But that's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, so there is our flaps. Now let's go ahead and add this to our card. And how is this going to go? We're going to fold this in like this. So left, over, flap, and then we're going to go right, over. And then we're going to, right at that break, we're going to fold that, okay? So that it looks like this. But before we get too excited, I'm going to take some tear and tape. You could use liquid glue or Stampin' Seal. But I want to make sure this is not going anywhere. And I do not want to put glue here because there's not going to be any, I mean, that will glue my card shut. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to put 2 strips here on that right side. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this up. Take off my backing. Take off my backing. Okay, I'm going to hold this. And I'm going to center this so that it looks like it's centered. I don't have to center it, but I can. So I'm going to, actually, I think really what you're supposed to do to make this work properly, and I forgot, is adhere this side right to the designer series paper right here. Just center that up and stick that right there like that, and then this will open the way it's supposed to. I didn't do my other 2 correctly. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to open this with this. And now I'm just going to add Stampin' Seal here, but I'm going to add a lot. Okay? Because I want this to stay. So I'm just going to hold this down and fold the back over. Give that a good press. All right, and then when I open it, it opens properly. You can open it out all the way. Yay! So this is an important step. Make sure that when you add this, you add it right to the designer series, the edge of the designer series paper there. Okay, and then this will all open correctly. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So in case you are wanting to make one of your own, you're following along, you want to make one, let me bring in my template. Okay, where did I put it? That's a good question. Here it is, right here. Okay, so this is the card base, 5.5 by 6 1/4, score at 2 inches. Okay, and then this is the flip flap part, the flippy flappy part. Oh, Tracy, that's kind of cool you're coloring those at the same time. Okay, so this is this piece here. This is what I cut for my scene, but this is what you would normally do if you're not doing a scene. Okay, so those are the instructions there. So if you want to take a screenshot so you can make one of your own, go ahead and do so. And then I made sure I wrote line this edge with DSP on card base and center it. Okay, so there we are. All right, so that is that cool little fun fold. Thank you, Susan Campfield, for the inspiration and the instructions. All right, so I did do an envelope to go along with that, and I took my Sharing Loving Crafting. This is an online exclusive. However, in the new catalog, they do have it listed. So, and I just put just to brighten your day and then happiness inside on the flap. Okay, so there is our first project, that fun fold. And I hope that you like that and that you are inspired to make one. And please, if you do, share with us in the Stampers Group Social on Facebook so we can all see what you made. Okay? All right, let's set that aside and let's get on with project number 2. Okay, let me clean up just a bit because I got quite a disaster going here. And I just need to get a few things out of the way. And then we'll grab our other pieces. I don't think I need Wonderful Thoughts for the next one. So we've got this. All right. So again, we're going to use the Storybook Friends. This time we're going to use mixed labels. Oh, but just for the die. We're using the mixed label die right there. Okay. You could use a sentiment, but that's not what I chose. I chose a sentiment from the Pattern of Friendship. No, I did not. Did not. Hello, Friend actually comes from Storybook Moments. What am I thinking? Pattern of Friendship is one I thought for the other one. Sorry, I'm crazy. Okay, let's get started. Oh, so again, we're going to use the Forever Plaid. And our card base this time is Boho Blue, and why that is not scored, I don't know. So let's score that 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score it at 4 1/4. All right. And then let's see. Then we need a piece of the Designer Series paper from Forever Plaid. And this time I'm going to use this piece here. It has more of a masculine feel. So we're going to use that. I'm going to put it here. And I don't need to put any treatments or anything on it, so I'm just going to put this down. But before I do that, I like to fold my card base. It just helps me center my paper better when I have a nice crisp score line. Okay, so let's do that. Put this right on here. I changed this one up too from my original card. Okay, so we've got that. And then for the inside, I've got a piece of 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 inch. This is basic white. And we're going to take a piece of that Designer Series paper. We are, if I can figure out what I did with it, because I don't know. Well, we'll just cut another, because it's not like we don't have one here. Oops, I might have thrown that away when I was cleaning up. Yikes. Okay, so I need this to be about 3/8 of an inch. by 3 5/8. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and then I'll trim it because I would rather be too long than too short. Okay, so let's put this in. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue for this, and I'm going to put my glue not at the top because I want to tuck a piece in to this. So I'm just going to put this down here. All right, and then I'll trim this off. Get rid of that. All right, and then I have a piece from the designer series papers, those cutouts that I'm going to use in here. And this is why I did not glue that at the top, because I want to put this down and I want to tuck that right into the top of this plaid so it looks like it's sitting there. And it's so much easier to do it this way than to put it down and then try to figure out where you need to put your strip. Okay, so there's my inside piece. So we can go ahead and add this. All right. That is now ready. Now I cut from Boho Blue, I cut that frame die. Where did I put my dies? They're right here in front of my face, of course. Okay, so when you cut this piece, you get the inside and the outside. So it cuts like this when you run it through the die cut machine. Okay, and it comes apart in two pieces. So you can either use them both, whatever, right? Your choice. I cut a second one of those so that I would have this piece from the designer series paper. So we're going to add this to the front of our card here. Okay, and the way I did this so that I didn't have to keep fighting this was I took and laid this on my desk, laid this in here like how I wanted it. Okay, and then I took some tear and tape. Make sure that's in there just how I want. It needs to quit slipping. So let's put it on our silicone mat so everything will just lay where it's supposed to lay. Okay, and then I'll put just a piece on either side just to keep those pieces as one so that while we're working with them, it's not a pain. Okay, because now instead of two pieces, we have one. All right, so then we can put this on our card like so. And then you're going to need to stamp. I must have had a different plan for this card, totally. Oh yeah, I stamped the garden patch again. So let's grab that garden patch. You need the garden patch. Oh, and this time, hang on. Well, doesn't matter. Just use thick basic white, or not thick basic white, but just basic white. So we've got the garden patch. And then we need Cabbage Bunny. And I truly do just grab scraps. So whatever works. Let's see if Yep, she'll fit. Then we want our little girl bunny here. Okay, so those are the pieces that you need for this card. And then of course you'll color those up with the blends. And we're using the same ones that I showed you earlier. So in this case, I used Flirty Flamingo for her dress. And then she was, she's crumb cake. Here she is. So this is what she looks like when you color her and get her cut out. And then Mr. Bunny here, Bunny Dude, Mr. Cabbage Dude, that's what I call him, Mr. Cabbage Dude. He has Misty Moonlight for his trousers. And then he's crumb cake. Okay. And then here I used light mossy meadow, then a little bit, and then the granny apple green. I colored it in with granny apple green, and then I went back and added a little bit of the dark old olive. Okay. And that's how I got the variations in the cabbage. Okay. So pumpkin pie for the carrots, mossy meadow for the dark in the leaves here, and old olive, and then crumb cake for the ground. All right, so there's those pieces, and these are already cut out. So you don't have to sit and watch me color and color and color. So my thought for this one was I was going to put the cabbage guy here. I'll put him here, boop. And then we're gonna put our little girl here, and we'll put our frame about right here. So it kind of looks like we have our little scene down here, and we have that. Okay. You know what? I don't think I like that very much. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm glad you guys like that. I'm actually thinking I'm just going to do this. Oh, let's put this on. I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal here. And I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue to hold down my frame here. Okay, now let's lift off this tear and tape. And let's put this in here. And let's see. I'm going to put this up here like so. Kind of off to, not quite centered. All right. And then we're just going to do this. I think that's good. I think this is good. I think it'll be too busy the other way. Oh, and actually, we're going to pop these up because I can. Because this is not a super thick card. So we should have some dimension. Don't you think? Okay, let's get a mini. Actually, I'm just going to cut. I'm going to cut a little bit of this. A little bit of the edge. Uh-oh. Oh. Where did you go? Oh, here it is. Whew. It didn't want to get glued. It was running away. All right, so let's put this down here. And then let's hope I didn't. I think I'm actually going to have him standing behind there like so. Yep, that's what we're going to do. I might need to move one of those dimensionals. In fact, I'm just going to do it now. Gently peel that up, move it down. That way I can stick my little rabbit behind there. Okay, let's see about this. And then we'll stick him, oh yeah, just like that. All right, and I'm gonna put some Stampin' Seal at his feet. Where did my silicone mat get to? Okay, well, let's see if we can get this going. There we go. And then I'll put a dimensional by his head. And of course, let's fluff up those ears a bit. Move that backing. Stick him right down here, like so. Okay. And then let's decide. I actually have a little squirrel here I could use too. Or I could put this like that. Nope, we're going to do that. Okay. I'm going with my original plan now that I see it's going to work. Okay. Let's put away a few of these things that are in my way. Okay, we need those dimensional. Oh, we got them. Okay, let's get these out of here. And we'll add this in here like so. There we go. All right. Now, the last thing that we need here is a sentiment. And so I took the Hello Friend from the Storybook Moments. This one right here. Cut it out with that mixed label die. And we're going to put that up here. And we're going to pop that up. So let's bring back in those. I don't know if I can put a whole dimensional in here. Will it fit? Will it fit? Oh, barely. Barely, barely, and barely. As long as you put a flat side near the flat edge, they're going to fit. Okay? So let's peel those off. I stamped the Hello Friend in basic black on basic white. We're just going to put that up here. Okay? And then our finishing touch will be the Neutrals Adhesive Backed Sequins. And let's see, we're going to use the copper, right? Yep, copper. I'm going to throw in a little bit of copper here. Put one here. Put a big one. Whoop. Where'd you go? Make one and a little one, and then we'll grab another little one, and we'll put it right there. Okay? And there is our finished card. Card number 2. Okay? So I hope you like that. Let's bring in the second card. And what did I do with the envelope for this one? Question. Oh, I was going to show you what I did for the envelope. That's why it's not done. I've got the pieces for that, but I forgot to pull the envelope. Okay, so I'm going to take my envelope. And I took one of the edge pieces of those little cottages from the Designer Series paper, and I hand cut it out. And then I'm going to take this And I'm going to be very generous with the adhesive because I don't want this getting ripped off in a machine. Okay, so you could use an adhesive sheet. I was too lazy to get them out and do that. So I'm going to put this over here on this side. Line up the bottom edge and the right edge there. And then I'll take my bone folder and I'll work that in pretty good. And I pulled out some of the adhesive here, so let's get an adhesive eraser and get rid of that. Okay, whoops, no, I moved it. I moved it on my envelope. Okay, there we go. So now that's done, and then the final thing that I want to do with this is I'm going to take that sharing, caring, and crafting, or yeah, sharing, caring, loving, and crafting. And I'm going to take the crafted with you in mind. I'm going to get some boho blue ink. And I'm going to ink this up after I get all my stuff out of the way so I can do that. Just going to ink that up. And set that down like that. Let that ink, I'm not pressing, I'm just holding it on there until the ink goes into the paper, fibers of the paper. And there we go. So now we have our second card with the storybook moments. So let's bring back in card number 1 so you can see that again. And then we've got card number 2. All right, everybody. That's what I have to share with you this evening. I hope you liked those cards. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, Cynthia. So glad you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you make these, be sure to share on the Stampers Craft Social. I would really love to see your projects. All right, everybody. I will be back on Thursday night on YouTube. Well, no, I won't, because there's a track meet. I can't say for sure that I'll be here. I did tell Caleb that if the weather's decent, I'll go. But if it's nasty, rainy, windy, no. So we'll see. But right now, do not count on me being here on Thursday night. If I pop on, then I'll put a little note on Facebook saying that I'm going to be on. I'll have the kiddos here if I don't go. All right, everyone. In any case, we'll be back next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook. Thanks, Lynette. All right, everybody. See you soon. Happy stamping.